Hey there, I'm John Morris. If you don't know who I am, I'm a freelance web developer of 10 plus years from Omaha, Nebraska. And what I've done is I've created a presentation for you where I'm going to show you how to systematically move up the Upwork rankings so that you show up higher in the searches and you get more and more invites to other people's projects. Now that's key because when someone invites you, you are a lot more likely to get hired for that project than if you just bid on it on your own. Now, in order to move up the rankings, there's three things that you need to focus on. The first one is relevance. So if you've gone on Upwork and you've done any sort of search as a client or from the client's perspective, you know that you can enter different sorts of keywords, and you want to make sure that your freelance profile is showing up at the top of those searches for the important keywords related to what you do. So I'm going to show you how to set up your profile in such a way that you're targeting those keywords. The second thing is reputation. So Upwork uses a number of algorithms to try and make sure that the best freelancers rise to the top. I'm going to show you how to systematically grow your profile in reputations. Now there's no gimmick or trick that you can use to get around this, but there are some things that you can focus on and make sure you're doing with your clients so that each new project that you complete helps you move up instead of just keeping you the same or actually even worse, making you go down. And then the third thing that I'm going to show you is how to actually completely step outside of Upwork and use factors outside of it to help you move up and get more traffic and more clients looking at your profile. This is something I don't hear very many people talking about. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, unlike a lot of presentations, this isn't going to be theory. This isn't ideas. This is based off stuff that I've actually done to help rank in the top 3 on Upwork for my most important keyword searches. So I'm going to show you exactly how I did that. So with all that said, let's go ahead and get started.
All right, hey, John here. We're over on Upwork here, and I'm going to run through how to rank higher in your Upwork searches. Now, before I do that, I just want to cover this real quick. This was one of the hardest things for me to figure out, but it ended up being the biggest key to my success when I was on Elance, which eventually merged and became Upwork, etc. And Upwork works very, very similar to the way that Elance worked. And what that was is when I first started out, I was constantly going and bidding on what I would call cold jobs, meaning the person hadn't invited me to their job. I would just go bid on it and they knew nothing about me. And then I started to, I struggled obviously, and you may have experienced that as well, where you're struggling to get jobs, you're bidding on stuff and you're not getting hired and so forth. One of the key things that you can figure out is how to show up in the searches on Upwork for specific keywords so that you get invites. And when you get those invites, you're a lot more likely to get hired when you bid on them. And so I was able to get to the point where I ranked 3rd in the Upwork search for my most important keyword. And because I had targeted my profile, and I was ranking ahead of people who had a lot more job history and who'd been on Elance a lot longer than I had. And I was able to get a lot of those jobs because even the 2 people that ranked ahead of me, they were people who were targeting more of a general web design, web development type services, whereas I was specifically targeting that particular keyword. And so not only did I rank high in those search, I got a lot of those jobs because when someone wanted that specific thing, I was the profile that stuck out. And so I'm going to show you a little bit kind of how to do this then over here on Upwork. So there's 3 key things, and I mentioned these. It's relevance, it's reputation, and then it's kind of outside traffic. So let's talk about relevance for a second here. So I've come over here to Upwork. I'm in my client profile. So this is what it looks like from the client's perspective. And I've typed in a keyword search term here called Optimize Press. Now, Optimize Press is a WordPress theme and plugin that supposed to help people easily build landing pages, sales pages, and membership areas. And it's a fairly well-known plugin, and there's a fairly sizable market for developers to use this tool to build websites for people. So I've come over here and done a search, and what I want to show you, what I want to point out here is you'll see this individual here ranking number 1 in that search. And then you'll see this person here ranking number 2. What I want you to notice here is the amount of hours that this person has worked here, 70 hours that this person has logged, as opposed to this person who's 571 and this person who's 1186. And so these two people have a lot more job history than this person does. However, this person ranks number 1. Well, why is that? Well, if we look at the title, we can see membership sites and optimized press, but of course we see that with both of these. But if we click through to this guy's profile, and I have it open over here, while he may not have, and I don't recommend that you do this, this is a very short description, you'll notice that you see optimized press, optimized member, you see optimized press again. So he's got, in his short description here, he has optimized press several times. Now, if you compare that to this guy here, we come over to his, you can see he has a lot more in his description here, but you'll see optimized press is essentially mentioned once, and then he talks about a lot of other things that he does and doesn't really mention optimized press again. So when Upwork is trying to analyze this particular overview and get some sense of what this person does, this isn't as strong an indicator for the keywords optimized press as, say, this is. Now, that doesn't mean you should stuff keywords into your overview. They're going to catch that as well. But you should put those keywords in there where it makes sense, and you should talk about that particular product quite a bit. So if it were me in this overview, I would actually go through and maybe even, not only talk about what I've done with optimized press, but even maybe give some tips or give more information on optimized press, just so I can mention optimized press multiple times throughout this overview. The next thing that you'll notice, if we come down here, you look at his kind of job history or work history, you see this is an optimized press, membership site, optimized press. Let's see down here, optimized press. A lot of these jobs are jobs that have optimized press in them. So Upwork can take a look at that and see that this guy works on a lot of projects related to optimized press. So for the search optimized press, he's a lot more relevant. As opposed to, if we look over here at this guy, you can see his work history. It's ongoing work, website management, project and others, website management, Google Analytics, thesis. There, I don't see any of these. None of these mention optimized press. So when you start to look at, well, this guy has a lot more job history. I think he has a little bit better rating than the other guy. Yet the other guy is ranking higher than him. Why is that? Because his title, his description, and his work history are all more targeted to optimize press. And so that's the idea behind relevance, and that's what you want to create over on Upwork. So there's 3 things to do this. 1, know your keywords. So this is why I always talk about you need to pick a specific niche, not just go general web design and web development. You need to pick something specific, like this guy has picked optimized press to target. So you know your keywords for the niche that you're targeting. 2nd, target your profile. So in your overview, make sure and mention those keywords. Again, don't just keyword stuff. Mention them naturally, but put a lot of information in here. Talk about what you know and what you've done and so forth, and mention those things where it naturally fits in so that you get your keywords in this overview. And then you need to craft your job history, meaning you shouldn't, if you're targeting optimized press, you shouldn't be out there bidding on jobs for something completely unrelated. You should be looking for the optimized press jobs and targeting those. It's more important, it's better for you to get one job related to the specific keywords or niche that you're targeting than it is to get 5 that are totally unrelated. Because that one job is going to help you move up the rankings for those keywords a lot faster, and that is going to allow you to get more of the right kind of jobs for you to work on. All right, so that's relevance. Now, the second thing is reputation. So we're actually going to come over here to this guy here, and even though he's not targeting optimized press very heavily, he does still show up number 2. So there is something to learn from his profile as well. So you can see the job history, the amount of 571 hours worked, and you can see the 100% job success. If we come down and we look at some of the work history here, you can see he gets a lot of 5-star reviews. Very knowledgeable, has been a great asset to our team. Great to work with, excellent WordPress developer, got everything done in time and everything was extremely well made. Exactly as requested, very easy to work with, a pleasure working on numerous projects. And if you went through all of these, you're going to see a lot of 5-star ratings, and you're going to see, a lot of easy to work with, communicated well, etc. So when it comes to your reputation, then there's 3 things as well. 1, I kind of already mentioned this, but you need to target your jobs to the niche that you're going after. So this helps with your reputation and makes it easier to move up the rankings. The second thing is you need to deliver and have an actual delivery schedule. Again, this is why I harp so much on targeting a specific niche, because when you do that, I mean, if you come over to this guy here, how many optimized press sites has he built? A bunch. So he's really familiar with that process and knows about how it's going to go every time. So he can actually create a schedule of, look, this is what's going to happen in day 1, day 2, day 3, and it's going to take me a total of 2 weeks to build this whole thing, as an example. He knows exactly what's going to happen when, he knows exactly what he needs to get done when, and he's got a system in place for creating that. So he can actually give that to the client and show them and give them some peace of mind about exactly what he's going to do. And then he's going to deliver on that, and he's going to probably do it faster than what he told them. And it's going to look great because he's done it time and time again. So, he still has a 100% job success rate here, and still has a lot of 5-star reviews and so forth. So, he's still obviously doing a real good job. The other guy just happens to have a lot more hours logged and so forth. So, again, you want to target your jobs, you want to deliver, and then you want to communicate. You can see this right here. Great work in communication. Those are the most important things that clients look for. If we compare these 2 profiles to this guy, he was on page 9 for this search. And so you're like, okay, why is he so low and why are the others guys so high? Well, you can see here, he has a 75% job success rate. So the other 2 had 100%, he's at 75. That's probably not very good. And if we come down here, you actually see one here where he gets a less than 2-star rating, and you can see what was said here. You can see his response. There could be something to said. Maybe he's right. Maybe what he responded to here is true, but he's the one that gets the 2-star rating, and he can't get rid of that. So it's in your best interest to make sure that you're going above and beyond to make your client happy, so that they don't come on here and leave you these kind of bad ratings. So again, target, deliver, communicate, and your reputation is absolutely critical. There's no gimmick or way around this, right? You just have to do the work and be good at it and communicate well. So you have to put in that work. But if you're targeting correctly and using the keywords and so forth, like I've said, then you can help yourself move up those rankings a lot faster because you're more relevant for specific searches. All right, the last piece then is traffic. And really what I'm talking about here is, you don't always want to play inside baseball, so to speak. You don't want to rely completely on the freelance site in order to get you all of your business. You want to do stuff outside of it to help bring traffic to your profile so that you can get jobs that, maybe you're not showing up in searches yet, and maybe you're not bidding on cold jobs here and winning, but you can get people from the outside to hire you, and that helps with your rankings as well, because those jobs, even though they came from someone outside and you had them create the job here on Upwork, Upwork looks at it as the same. So there's a number of things that you can do. The first one, you hear me talk about this all the time, create content. So if we come over here to my YouTube channel here, you can see I've uploaded, it doesn't say here, but I've uploaded over 200 videos to my YouTube channel. And that's brought me 2.5 million views, 26,000 subscribers. I get about 135,000 views a month, add 1,300 new subscribers each month, etc. Now, this $400, I get some revenue off of it, but that's not where I make the bulk of my income. I make the bulk of my income by pointing this audience to different offers and so forth. So this traffic, when you can build something up like this and then point it at your profile, there's a lot of work that you can get from something like this. Now, it's taken some time, but anybody can start doing it now today and have success with it. If you're offering useful information and you're delivering it well, then you can start to build something up like this that becomes an asset for you to point to your Upwork profile and get business from it. Now, so that's the first thing is creating content, whether it's YouTube, whether it's writing articles somewhere, whether it's answering questions on Stack Overflow or Quora or whatever. Get out there and start creating content and then point people back to your profile. The other thing is you want to start building an email list. A lot of this is just business 101. Now, if we come over here to my email list, you can see that I'm up to the point where I'm adding about 2,000 new subscribers each month to my email list. My email list currently is just about 29,000 people on that email list. And that is something that, again, I can write an email and it go out to almost 30,000 people. And that's a lot of traffic that I can send to my freelancing profile if I wanted to. So you want to build up these assets, a YouTube channel or a Medium profile or a Quora profile or a Stack Overflow profile, an email list, etc., and be able to point all of these things at your profile to get traffic from outside the freelance site, to get work from outside the freelance site that then helps you rank higher in those freelance sites because it helps build your job history and so forth. And then the last one is then ads. So I run ads. Now I run ads on my content. You could run ads to your profile and so forth. That's probably going to be a little bit more expensive, but advertising is still a great way to do this. So you can see my latest episode of my podcast. I'm running, I have 4 different ads here. I think I'm spending about $5 a day on this. And you can see the amount of views here. So 400, almost 400. Most of these are almost 400. So almost 1,600 views or 1,532 views in the last 7 days off of ads. And I think I'm spending like $5 or $3 or something like that. And this leads to these earned views, which are views where people, they see this one and then they go on to view another video on my channel. And so I'm getting a lot of earned views from these as well. So I'm getting over 1,600 views as a result of this, and I'm only spending a couple bucks a day to do it. So this can be very, very effective, very, very cost effective. And that's a way that if you're just starting out on YouTube, you can grow your channel with just some smart advertising of your latest videos, even though you don't yet have a following, and you can build that following, which then, most of my email subscribers come over from YouTube. So you build kind of a pathway, right? You have your ads, which promote your YouTube channel which promotes your mailing list, which promotes your profile. And you can create a path to your Upwork profile. And again, get work outside of just Upwork and not relying on it solely to get you all of your jobs and so forth. All right, so content, email list, and ads. So those are the 3 things that are going to help you rank higher in Upwork searches: relevance, reputation, and traffic. Now, if you're serious about building up your Upwork profile and freelancing and getting clients and working full time from home, doing what you love, making what you want to make, then here's what I can do for you. Now, here's the thing. What you do on Upwork isn't the most important thing. Now, everything I just showed you is important and obviously useful, but it's not the most important thing that you need to do. Now, if you want to go from struggling to get work to making your living as a coder, doing the things you love and making what you want to make, you have to really get the larger strategy necessary to dominate Upwork. Now, the mistake most people make is jumping on Upwork. They try a few things, those things don't really work, and then they just give up and say Upwork is a scam or it's terrible or whatever. But it takes a little more strategy and a little more patience than that, but it's absolutely worth it. What it really comes down to is how Upwork itself works, because it's designed to reward the best freelancers. That's the way that it's made. But if you're new, it can be hard to prove how good you are. But there is a way around that. And it's how I was able to get on Elance, which Upwork used to be Elance, and within a few months start ranking in the top 3 developers for my most important keyword and attract clients to me ahead of the developers in the top 2 spots. So here's the deal. I learned a lot of this in what's called the Freelance Masterclass. And here's what that is going to do for you. It's going to eliminate all the confusion you have about what projects should you bid on, what clients will hire you, what should I say on my profile, how should I bid on projects, etc. It just kills all of that confusion dead. It's also going to systematically help you move up the Upwork rankings so you become one of the top dog developers that gets all the invites and easily wins all the jobs. And it's going to give you the tools to blow your clients away so they give you 5-star ratings, glowing testimonials, and hire you time and time again. So here's what to do next. Click the Get Started button right below this video, which will take you to the Freelance Masterclass on Udemy. Click the Take This Course button, enter your information, and get immediate access to the Masterclass. You'll get lifetime access and personal help from the instructors to ensure that you can start freelancing full-time. Well, I really enjoyed this, and I really enjoyed chatting with you. I look forward to watching you gain success. Remember to click the Get Started button below to start the Masterclass, and I'll talk to you later.